जय दोस्तों, मैं मेजर मोहम्मद अली शाह। और मुझे को बड़ी खुशी हो रही है कि अभी मैं एक बहुत ही एक एंटरप्रेन्योर के साथ अभी गुफ्तगू में हूँगा, जो तारुफ की कोई मोहताज नहीं है। आप इनको इनका बहुत लोग जो इनका काम जानते हैं, दे स्वेयर बाय हिम, बाय हिज वैल्यूज, हिज एथिक्स, हिज इंटीग्रिटी, his rules of working, and of course a very, very dynamic entrepreneur who's had one of the finest education in the country, I would say. He went to a very, very good school, St. Columbus. नाम तो सुना होगा आपने। आज जब सेंट कोलंबस का नाम सुनते हैं तो नाम सबसे पहले नाम आता है शाहरुख खान का नाम आता है दिमाग में। But apart from Shah Rukh Khan, there have been so many people. There have been Jen Huda. There have been a lot of illustrious personalities who passed out from St. Columbus. In fact, जब मैं बोलूंगा, जब सेंट कोलंबस के नाम लेंगे तो मैं बोलूंगा साहिल सेंट कोलंबस से है, मैं ये तान के बोलूंगा। एंड साहिल, thereafter, of course, he went to GD Goenka, he went to Bhagat Singh. He was very, very interested in business, and he has got his ventures coming up which are going to be taking the world by storm. And let's go straight ahead in conversation with Sahil Luthra. Sahil, Jai Hind, and thank you very much for spending time, Sahil.
Jai Hind, sir. Thank you so much. It's a privilege and honor to be on your podcast. And thank you so much for your kind words. I'm really grateful.
Thank you. Sahil, firstly, we can see the national flag right behind you. And of course, we've heard a lot about your patriotism and your love for the country and such things. And, you may not have joined the army, but you are still serving the army. You are still serving the defense division, the defense production, in fact. So let's share a bit about your entrepreneurial journey, Sahil. So were you always inclined and very sure about, right from your St. Columbus days, that you want to be an entrepreneur?
Yes, sir. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and especially I always had an inclination towards defense. So I always wanted to do something related to defense and serve for the country indirectly, you can say.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now, you are getting heavily into defense production and defense manufacturing and catering the requirements of the defense forces. And so tell us about your initial steps, your initial deals as an entrepreneur. What were they and how were they? जो आपने पहली डील करी होगी जिंदगी की, it could be in school, it could be in primary school, whatever, if you have any memories of that.
My first deal, I think, was when I joined my father. So I started going to the office when I was in class 10th. I always had an interest in business. So I always was eager to go to his office, just sit for like good 1 or 2 hours, learn a lot of knowledge to seek from him and his associates. So I think in class 11th, first time I had basically advised my father to invest in a land. So I can say that was my first deal.
Oh,
My
wow.
entrepreneurial
Wow, that's
journey
very nice.
started from there. Yeah.
That's very nice. Now, investing in land, they say, is the best investment because land will only appreciate thereafter. And, I was reading somewhere about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett he had bought a second-hand car once, and thereafter he used it and sold it again, resold it on a profit. So that was his business acumen, and we all know of Warren Buffett. In fact, so let's get on about your interest in the defense. And, of course, you always wanted to serve the nation, you want to serve the army. And so tell us about your venture into defense production, sir.
So we have just ventured into defense. So now we are starting to manufacture small arms and ammunition. So this is a three-phase vision which I have, and by God's grace and my father's blessing, I feel we will, fulfill it. So the first phase would be small ammunition manufacturing, where we would be manufacturing 5.56 mm, your 7.62 mm, and 9 mm. That is for your basically government defense, but we would export it also, so that can be used by private players as well. And then the second phase would be our arms. So we would do a joint venture with an international or domestic entity, So maybe DRDO, whomever we feel, both ways it's working. So we would do a JV for that. And the third phase would be medium and large caliber. That's our mortar and artillery shells. So this is something we are eager to do. So right now we are in the stages of our first and second phase, arms and ammunition. So we are starting our setting up a unit in Jhansi. So there is a UP Defense Corridor, which was our Honorable Defense Minister's dream project. So over
Of
there are
course.
6 nodes. So one of the nodes is Jhansi node. So we acquired the land and we are setting up a unit over there.
Wow, that's brilliant. After I completed my stint from the short service stint from the army, I worked for 4 years with a company called Rolta Thales Limited. Now, Thales, you'll be knowing they were heavily into arms deals, and they manufacture huge projects. They supply to world over, to the armies and the navies all over. And so I realized that a defense deal to move, in fact, it was a very, very cumbersome and a slow process, because like then there is the defense procurement procedure, and then there's defense procurement manual, there's DPP, and there's DPM. So it was very, for example, one issues an RFI, then RFP is issued, and then field trials, and then bidding, and then vetting, and then the whole lot of it's a very, very cumbersome procedure. So it was getting so cumbersome. Then Mahindra offered me a role. So I joined the Mahindra Defense Land Systems India Private Limited. They were in a joint venture with BAE Systems. Again, same business as what you were doing almost. You mentioned artillery shells. So I am from the regiment of artillery, in fact. So this would be a very, very good contribution. So now to hold on to a defense deal, it's a very cumbersome procedure. It takes time and patience. So, do you think you would be having the time and patience to hold on to a particular deal? Because my advice to you as a brother would be, once you've invested, I think hold on to it. It'll pay you rich dividends. That's my advice. Anyway, let's hear it from you.
So when I was about to enter, I got the opportunity, and it was a privilege and honor for me to meet many senior serving and veterans from the Indian Army. So the only thing they all told me was, "You're entering into an excellent life, but in the end, you need to have patience. If
Ah,
you
that's exactly.
if you feel you'll invest money and in the next 1 year you'll start getting profits like your other businesses, it's not possible. You have to have a cooling period of at least 3 to 5 years after the investment, then only you will start making profits out of it. If you feel you cannot hold on to it and you don't have that kind of patience, it's better you don't do this business. And that day I made up my mind that patience is the key for defense, and I will keep my patience and I will keep my cool. And sir, this business is a very respectful business, and especially globally. So I have got the opportunity to visit multiple countries after starting this entity, and met with multiple defense big players and defense government organizations of the countries. So the respect we get in this line, I think that is the best, and that is what actually gives you the adrenaline rush.
Absolutely. In fact, you got the right word, patience, and patience is the key. Because when I was working with these companies, I realized that they've investment a lot of money in that, and it would not give immediate results. Like you don't go and buy and come back. Thereafter, we shifted also our track from the defense to the from Ministry of Defense to the Home Ministry. Like for example, procuring to the energy for that matter. It was a fast track process for that matter. So जो आपने equipment बताया है, the small arm, the such things, they would be very, very beneficial to the NSG as well, to the Ministry of Home Affairs as well, to the state police as well, so to the paramilitary as well. So apart from the Army, Navy, or Air Force, have you thought of supplying to the paramilitary and to them as well?
So, sir, basically, small arms and ammunition comes under MHA. It doesn't come under the MOD. So, our main client would be MHA. For sure, Indian Army, Air Force, and Navy will always be our main. We love to supplying them because it's a patriotic move. But yes, as you mentioned, MHA, NSG, SPG, your CAPF, all of them, we would be we really want to actually supply to them, and we want to be one of the leading players to supply small ammunition to them at least.
That's brilliant because like I went on deputation to the Assam Rifles, and in fact, this is an Assam Rifles, the Director General Assam Rifles commendation card, which I just received recently. And
Wow.
I thank our dear friend Vineet Malhotra, who has put me through to you, in fact. And Vineet is a great guy, and he told me, and I mean, he said common interest, and ये वो तो मेरे को बहुत excitement थी. मैं बहुत बेकरार था
Likewise, sir.
आपके साथ गुफ्तगू करने में. And आपसे जो
Likewise, sir.
इंटरेक्शन रहा है, I messaged you yesterday as well. I was very moved by your humility, Sahil, and आप जिस मुकाम पे हो आप, और आपकी बिजनेस में दिल से दुआ है कि अव्वल दर्जे की बिजनेस आपकी होगी. And
Thank
what
you,
are
sir.
your plans and your vision? Like, I mean, what stage are you in right now? और आपने ये बिजनेस, आपने ये आइडिया जब सोचा, तो कितना वक्त हुआ है तब से लेके अब तक इसके बारे में?
So, sir, my defense inclination towards defense started when I was in class 8th. So I tried multiple times to, enter the defense, but unfortunately, we didn't have Make in India initiative like we do have now. So all thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, in 2016 when he got the Make in India initiative, that is when I started looking at defense. But that time the investment was way too large because only the big players were there. So recently in 2024 only, you can say, the starting, the actual privatization into defense started. So aerospace is different. Aerospace has all started in, I think, 2019 only for the privatization, because there are not much of regulations and licenses to procure, etc. But the main hardcore mainstream defense, it's very difficult to enter. So in 2024 January, I again started looking at defense. Fortunately, I met with the right people. The networking is the main, I feel. So networking helped me a lot. And in May, I incorporated this company with my father's blessings and by God's grace. And now we have procured the land. We are planning to set up the unit now. Soon the construction will go up. And we are already in talks with multiple countries. And we are meeting their private defense entities also, their defense government also. So let's see what comes out. We are just making our network strong as of now, and soon we will be starting to fulfill our order books also, pre-orders.
Wow, this is like really, really, I mean, very inspiring, and this is such a so heartening to hear that. And जो आपका जो तमन्ना थी class 8th में to serve the defense forces, and तब Make in India नहीं था, when the big players were there, and एक वक्त ऐसा था when India would look at countries like Israel, Russia, France, America, and they would be, wow, they are the defense suppliers. आज की तारीख में हिंदुस्तान एक ऐसे स्तर पर आ गया है जहां पे हम फिलीपींस जैसे अन्य देशों को डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट सप्लाई करते हैं. और जैसे कि हमारे डिफेंस मिनिस्टर राजनाथ सिंह साहब ने कहा है कि वी वांट इंडिया, नॉट जस्ट इंडिया टू मेक फॉर इंडिया ओनली, वी वांट इंडिया टू मेक फॉर द वर्ल्ड. एंड साहिल, बाय द वे यू आर गोइंग, आई एम टेलिंग यू, जो आपका विजन है ना, जो आपकी सोच है, जो आपसे मेरा इंटरेक्शन रहा है ऑफ एयर एज वेल, एंड यू हैव विजिटेड अदर कंट्री, यू सीन द रिक्वायरमेंट्स, I can tell you for sure that आप, हमारी दुआएं आपके साथ कि भैया आपकी कंपनी जो है ना
Sir.
आसमानों की बुलंदियों को छुएगी. अच्छा, have you you must have registered a name and all that, आपकी कंपनी का अपने नाम सोचा है
Yes,
कोई?
sir.
जी
Yes,
बताइए.
sir. So our entity's name is Vijayan Trishul Defense Solutions Private Limited, and we have even registered our trademarked our logo and name. So it's under the process, but our name has been incorporated, and luckily the name which we wanted, we got it. So Vijayan is a Sanskrit word
Wow.
for winning. Trishul is our Shivji's, so I'm a big Shivji follower, and Defense Solutions is related to defense.
Wow. एक बार नाम दोहराइए दोबारा for our viewers to actually understand and grasp it well.
Yes, sir. So it's Vijayan Trishul Defense Solutions.
विजन त्रिशूल डिफेंस सॉल्यूशंस. वाओ, क्या
Thank
बेहतरीन
you,
नाम.
sir.
और ये नाम किसने चुना, आपने या फादर ने?
No, sir. Actually, frankly, I would give all the credit to my team, sir. So they are the ones who actually, it was a mix and match. They all came up with different names, so we mix matched the name, and the logo was also created by our team, sir. So a big
Wow.
credit goes to the team for this.
Wow. That reminds me, you know, आपके लिए अर्ज है चार पंक्तियां, चार पांच पंक्तियां. वो है, this is poem which I read of a boss and a leader. And in the army, we are taught to be leaders. When I went to IIM Calcutta to do management, वहाँ पे मैनेजर क्या होता है वो सीखा. तो दोनों का मिक्स मैं आपके लिए खास तौर से और आपकी कंपनी के लिए. A boss says I, a leader says we. A boss says get there on time, a leader says get there ahead of time together. Let's go. A boss says go. A leader says let us all go together. A boss lets the people know where he stands. A leader lets the people know where they all stand together. A boss knows how it's to be done. A leader lets his men know and shows how it's to be done. A boss takes the credit. A leader gives it away. So Sahil, you are the true
Nice.
leader because after you bola, I give it to my team completely. So let's, yeah, before venturing into defense, before thinking about defense, आपकी company, what was your prime business, Sahil?
So, sir, I'll give you a short brief. So, my father was into lotteries in 1970s till 90s. So, he was also known as the lottery king at that time. Then, when the lottery stopped in India, we started investing in land. So, right now, my family is the biggest landholder in Delhi NCR. So, we have multiple big land holdings all over India also. So, our actual family business is land banking and investor.
Wow. 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 That is quite awe-inspiring. And, you know, among the lotteries, in fact, so हर किसी का सपना होता है कि एक ना एक दिन मेरी लॉटरी लगेगी और मैं और कुछ something world will turn upside down, you know, or the other way around. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my dear friends, those who are listening to us, in order to get lucky in life, you have to first buy a lottery ticket. तो वही साहिल लूथरा ने करा है. And trust me, and I know the credibility, and I know when जिस passion से विनीत ने बोला था मेरे को आपके बारे में, and I was like so excited, more than anybody else. I think I was the most excited. I was like wow. Unfortunately फिर क्या हुआ, फिर मेरे को वायरल हो गया और फिर साहिल को वायरल हो गया, and then फिर somewhere on the other it was just not on the same page was happening. But I'm so happy that it's happening right now. सर 18 मिनट हो गए हैं, मगर मैं 18 मिनट में एक TEDx का एक वो होता है, एक लाइन होती है. तो मैं इस 18 मिनट की लाइन पे क्यों लेके आपसे पूछता हूं, कल को फोन बजता है और आपको
Yes.
TEDx से कॉल आती है and they say that we want you to come over and give a TEDx talk. Now, what would you like to speak on TEDx?
So my entrepreneurial journey, so that many people can actually understand and learn how it's not easy for a businessman and an investor to, actually start a business. People feel a businessman just invests and does nothing, but the journey is very hard, and especially God's blessings and parents' blessings are required, and hard work, patience, and the correct team is all that matters, I feel.
Absolutely, patience and the current team is all that matters. In fact, आपने बिल्कुल दुरुस्त फरमाया है. And tell us a bit more. You know, I'm very curious to know about your the new venture that you would be. Tell us. I'm sure our viewers would like to know more, because जितने भी मेरे friends होंगे, my co-mates होंगे, managerial officers होंगे, वो सब आपको अभी सुन रहे होंगे. And I would want to share this conversation with many people from the defense. In fact, so tell us a bit more
Honestly.
Tell us a bit more about your defense ventures, Ayan.
So, sir, we have big names associated with us. It's their experience actually which is driving us to move forward. Because for me, this is my first defense venture, so I have very less knowledge in front of many people. And for this, we have our vice president of the company, our veteran Lieutenant General Kamaljeet Singh, sir. So his vast
Of course, Army
experience.
Commander, Western Command, former Army Commander, Western Command. वो भी
Yes,
टीवी
sir.
पैनल्स में आता है. I just met him in Chandigarh a few days back for the Abalit
Ye-
Fest. He's a very
Yes,
fine general officer, very fine general officer. And then I met
yes,
him
sir.
इससे पहले at the Vellum Boys military history seminar. बड़े very fine gentleman, very fine. जी.
Yes, sir. He is a mentor and a father figure to me. So he is there. And then we have the former Chief Secretary of Gujarat, Mr. G.R. Aloria, sir, a very senior bureaucrat of India, retired. So he is our chief advisor. He's also like a mentor and a father figure to me. And then we have our legal advisor, Anshan Associates. They are basically his father was a very senior IPS officer, and he himself is a sharp legal advocate. So they are our advisors, legal advisors. Then we have our consultants, Sugosho Advisory. So there is Colonel Kuber and Colonel Nageshwar, sir.
Colonel K.V.
So
Kuber from Signals.
yes, sir. So
Are,
they
we were
both
together in
are,
Nagaland. We were together in Dimapur. Very fine officer, very fine. Balki he stays here only in Gurgaon and very close to our house. Very fine officer,
absolutely.
very fine officer. Yeah.
So they are our consultants, sir. So this is the team which is driving us forward. Then our core team, which sits in the office, their hard work and their you can say they are inclined towards this business. They want to learn because they have also come from the corporate sector to the defense sector. But their hard work is paying off, I must say.
Wow. Wow. I mean, it's all the team is the backbone. आपने बिल्कुल दुरुस्त फरमाया है. And you were absolutely bang on there. And you have chosen the right team, I would say. I mean, that a team which will actually deliver, which would be a go-getter, which has had hands-on experience. I mean, इससे better और क्या बात. Or anything else you'd like to say, Sahil? I mean, we are very eager to know on this defense venture of yours, खास तौर से. और आप क्या क्या इसके ऊपर आप क्या क्या प्लान हैं आपके और क्या फ्यूचर प्लान हैं और क्या एक्सपेंशन के प्लान हैं आपके जी
Yes, sir. So my wife is also one of the directors with me, and her support actually, I'm not that good in finance. So she is the one who takes care of the finances, and I would want to thank her also for her support. And she has also transitioned from being a homemaker to a defense entrepreneur, you can say. And she is also one of the youngest and the only female defense entrepreneurs, I feel, as of in India. And coming to the expansion, sir, we
वाओ
just don't want to basically get into arms and ammunition. We also want to expand to bulletproof jackets, ballistic helmets,
हाँ
drones, anti-drone systems, components for missiles, tanks. So there is no limitation in defense, I feel. And when we have a patriotic vision. So I think anywhere, anything in defense which we can help India to grow in, we would love to do that, sir.
एब्सोल्युटली अरे बिल्कुल आई मीन बल्कि this is a very fine field that you have chosen and I'm sure I'm glad that you're open to like bulletproof jackets and like Mahindras में हम लोग armored vehicles बना रहे थे ठीक है when
Yes,
I
sir.
went joined Mahindra so we were into armored vehicles and so it was and there's another company Kanpur based called MKU. I'm sure you must be familiar with them, the Gupta brothers,
Biggest,
and
one of the
they're friend of
biggest.
mine.
Yes,
In
sir.
fact, जी जी,
Wow, sir.
they're friend of mine. And so आपका जो योगदान रहेगा ना, साहिल, काबिल तारीफ है. And you're thinking, and of course, Ms. Luthra. I mean, ma'am, really, I mean, hats off to you for supporting Sahil in his business venture. And it is definitely because जिस नियत से, जिस इंटेंशन से आपने ये क्रिएट किया है, ये विजन जो आपने देखा है, हमारी पूरी दुआएं हैं कि ये आपकी बिजनेस आसमान की बुलंदियों को छुए डेफिनेटली एंड
Thank you,
साहिल
sir.
I know you're a busy man and you have been very kind to take out time and
Yes, sir.
before I let you go any last message from your end you'd like to throw to the universe Sahil?
Sir, it's just, I think hard work is the key to all success, and time, I feel, is the main thing. If you don't value time, time won't value you. So these are two things I feel a businessman should always understand, and that's how I proceed. And even in personal life, sir, these both the things I think they go hand in hand in business also and in personal life also. Because time, if you won't value time, it won't value you.
मैं साहिल आपके इतना बिल्कुल आपने बिल्कुल दुरुस्त फरमाया है एंड मैं कहा था कि आपसे ये लास्ट मैसेज होगा मगर एक आई एम वेरी टेम्प्टेड बिकॉज यू आर सच अ डायनामिक एंटरप्राइजिंग बिजनेसमैन। मैंने एक कहानी सुनी थी अबाउट कोलगेट जब आया था तो कोलगेट वाज दे हैड एडवर्टाइज्ड अ लॉट यू नो कि इतना इस्तेमाल करें और ज्यादा चलेगा एंड सच थिंग बिकॉज वो ज्यादा चल रहा था तो पीपल द डिमांड वेंट लेस बिकॉज एक ट्यूब लिया ना वो ज्यादा चल रहा था वो खत्म ही नहीं होने का नाम ले रहा है वो तो समन की मतलब आइडिया कि इसके अंदर इस होल को और वाइडर करो तो उस होल को और
Yes.
वाइडर किया तो उससे जब when you would press more would come out and then the demand went up what it was this and the person who gave the idea was he got a reward for that and वैसे ही मैंने एक और चीज सुनी थी मैंने about like since you mentioned about you gave all the credit to your father and rightly so so a father sends his son कि बेटा मेरे को चप्पले फुटवेयर की मार्केट बनानी है यहाँ पर एंड हमने कानपुर की बात की तो कानपुर में चमड़ा बड़ा मशहूर है तो आप जाओ आप देख के आओ उस गांव में तो वो कहता है कि फादर यहाँ पे तो कोई चप्पले पहनता ही नहीं है कोई फायदा ही नहीं है यहाँ पे व्हाई डू यू वांट टू एस्टैब्लिश अ प्लांट ओवर हियर देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट वी विल बी इन अ लॉस तो वापस आ जाता है he sends on the second son he goes and says father no one wears chappals over here no one wears footwear I think it's a great opportunity to establish a market over here and let us form a market तो वो वहां पे खोलते हैं and it goes on and एक और चीज है आप would like to share with you यार एक बड़ी दिलचस्प कहानी है ये आपके इसलिए मैं शेयर कर रहा हूँ
Yes.
मैंने एक वेरी 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 डायनामिक एंटरप्रेन्योर शेयर द स्टोरी विद मी दे सेड कि जब हम अपनी बिजनेस एस्टैब्लिश करते हैं शुड नो द मार्केट एंड ऑल तो उन्होंने बोला कि एक एनर्जी ड्रिंक लॉन्च हुई थी एनर्जी ड्रिंक में जितना उन्होंने एडवर्टाइज करा उतना ही द सेल्स वर ड्रॉपिंग है ऐसे कैसे हो गया उतना ही एडवर्टाइज किया सेल्स वर ड्रॉपिंग बिकॉज वो एनर्जी ड्रिंक गर्ल्स पे लॉन्च करी तो दे वुड शो अ पिक्चर ऑफ अ मैन हैविंग द एनर्जी ड्रिंक आफ्टर एनर्जी ड्रिंक ही इज डांसिंग एंड देन ही इज स्लीपिंग आफ्टर दैट
So sorry, your net is lagging.
अरबिक में राइट विल yes energy drink P and then washing में डाले washing machine निकल कर आए Sahil, but thank you so much for your time. I sincerely am grateful to you for giving us your time. And of
Right.
course, my regards to General KJ Singh and to Colonel Kuber and to the entire team. And I'm sure your business will flourish. आसमानों को छुएगी बुलंदी वो शुक्रिया जय हिंद
Thank you,
साहिल
sir. Jayan sir, it's a privilege and honor, and thank you so much for hosting me on your podcast. It was again a privilege and honor, and all thanks to Vineet also to introducing us and for this opportunity. Really grateful and
आप
eagerly looking forward to come back to this show.
थैंक यू साहिल जय हिंद भाई
Jayan sir, thank you, sir. Thank you.
थैंक यू